We're over 1 month through the NBA season. It feels like just yesterday we were talking about how great this season is going to be. And now we're here. We've got game winning shots. We've got 50-point games. We got brawls. We got legends coming out after the future of the NBA. It's a lot going on in the league. And with us being 1 month into the season, I thought it would be a perfect time to give out some awards, ladies and gentlemen. So today, I'll be filling out what would be an official ballot for NBA awards if the season were to end after 1 month. Now, I want to make this very, very clear. This is not a prediction for the rest of the season. I am saying that instead of it being an 82-game season, instead it was 15 or 16 games, this is my MVP, this is my rookie of the year, and so on and so forth. And maybe we'll do this again after 3 months and see exactly how things have shifted. But I'm just using the sample size that we have today. And in my opinion, that makes it more fluid, obviously, but also more difficult because some of the awards you kind of project, oh, this guy is going to win DPOY because he's an alien. But that guy also is out with an injury. So can he win DPOY today in my episode? I don't really know. Now, I am a guy that normally likes to play by the rules at least a little bit. And y'all know that the NBA has a 75-game minimum threshold for an 82-game season. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later in Ask KB. But doing the mathematics, that is about 79% of games need to be played for you to be eligible for an award. I wanted to kind of keep that conversion rate. So if your team has played 15 games, you have to appear in at least 11 of those to be eligible for the Small Ball with Kenny Beecham NBA award show. Let's get into the biggest award, the one that you care about the most. Honestly speaking, the most difficult award over the last couple seasons because it's boiled down to these last two dudes, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Nikola Jokic. Before we get into that, I do have a top three when it comes to my ballot. So let's talk about the number 3 spot because as hard as it is to pick between SGA and Nikola Jokic for the 1 spot, I think it's really tough to pick the 3 spot between Luka Doncic and Giannis because right now Giannis technically fits in even though he's missed the last couple games. He barely gets through that threshold. But I think ultimately it's kind of like a coin flip. I'm going to give a little bit of a nod to Luka Doncic as my number 3 spot. That is no disrespect to Giannis. He was my preseason pick to win MVP. But Luka being able to come in and average what he's averaging and keep the Lakers afloat amidst a bunch of injuries is pretty impressive. Now, Giannis don't really have that much of support behind him as far as the team goes. You're kind of seeing it now with him being out. But I'm just going to give the slight nod to Luka for the 3 spot. But y'all care about number 1 more than y'all care about number 3. I think this is gearing up for another one of those seasons where whoever you have in this 1 spot, whether it be Shai or whether it be Jokic, I can't argue that you are wrong. I think it's going to be the beauty is in the eye of the beholder. The ballot or the award should be given to this guy because of your personal preferences when it comes to NBA players. Jokic's resume is insane. SGA's resume is insane. Let's stick with Jokic. 30 points per game, 13 rebounds, 11 assists, 62% from the field, 42% from 3, and 86% from the free throw line. SGA is averaging 32 points per game, 5 rebounds, 6.6 assists, 53, 40, 90. And if he were to complete this over a whole 82-game season, this would be the highest point per game anybody's ever averaged while being 50, 40, 90. It's hard to do this for 82 games. We'll see if Shai can do it, but that would be insane. That would be higher than Steph Curry's. That would be higher than Larry Bird's, 2 of the most classic 50, 40, 90 candidates. How am I going to decide? Now, Shai's ballot is mostly like this. I am an absolute madman. I have a 2-point percentage that is in the same realm as like a Shaquille O'Neal in his prime, but I am a guard shooting mid-range jumpers. I am currently the leader on the best team in the league, and we might be the best regular season team of all time. Maybe. I don't know. There's still a lot of games to be played. We have the greatest defense of all time and still have an elite level offense, though my secondary guy in J-Dub has been out for the entirety of the season. I've been shouldering the load of the offensive side, specifically through the first 3 quarters, because I have set in 7 or 8 fourth quarters this season because we have, as a team, been that dominant. And the games that I do play the fourth quarter, guess what? I'm one of the top fourth quarter scorers in all of basketball. So that's a good argument, right? Argument for Jokic is sometimes it's as simple as I am the best player in the world. Sometimes it really is that simple. Jokic kind of has that. Him over the last couple of seasons being able to hit the 3-point shot the way he has, basically completing the cycle of the circle that is all of the different points you need as an offensive player, being like the perfect offensive engine, maybe the best offensive engine that I've seen. And he's still doing that to this day, where they did lose a game to the Bulls and the Kings over the last week or so. But the game that mattered the most, it felt like, was against the Houston Rockets, another contender level team. And he was able to dominate in that performance, even when Aaron Gordon going down to injury, even with Christian Brown being out. Both of these guys have the luxury to add to their resume, starter players out. Ultimately, I decided after 1 month to give it to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. If you're going to tell me that the on-off numbers are going to be similar, a lot of the advanced stats are going to be similar. Now, the counter stats, he'll never be able to really compete in the assists to rebound things with Jokic, because Jokic might be the best passer of all time, and he is a significantly better rebounder with him being a center and all. But if the numbers and the advanced numbers are going to be similar, I may break it down to the more dominant team. Now, I know that can be controversial. That can be controversial in the whole stratosphere. Maybe this changes by April of 2026. But today, I would give that award to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. One thing I have not talked about as far as a plus for Shai is that he has one of the highest usage in all of basketball at a 36.4%. But his turnover rate is as low as anybody that has had that level of usage at 6.5. For him to be on this team that is a turnover magnet as far as like what they're causing other teams to do, and for him to be on the other side, the guy that has the ball all the time and not turn the ball over, obviously he's gearing them up for win after win after win. But there's always a conversation. Because of that, I want y'all to let me know. Hit me up on Twitter. Hit me up in the comment section if you're YouTube watching. Let me know who your MVP is. Because again, if you have Jokic, I can't say you're wrong. While we're here, I want to talk about Coach of the Year. Because, you would expect me to go MVP, Rookie of the Year. No. I want to go on my own personal order, because I think Coach of the Year, based on the first month, there's a lot of different candidates as well. My number 3 spot, I'm going to give to Darko Rajakovic, which is insane because through the first week of the season, I was on Twitter like, man, I don't know if Darko Rajakovic is going to make it to Christmas, right? Because I thought that defensively, they didn't have an identity. There was times where they played against the Houston Rockets, and they were sending doubles at times where I didn't think they should send doubles. And it felt like nobody's really communicating too much. But since then, they've clicked. The defense has looked as good as ever. They found their offensive identity as a team that's going to run. And when we're in the half court, we're going to do some pretty cool actions to get Brandon Ingram the ball or generate some open looks for Emmanuel quickly on a high screen. I've been enjoying Raptors basketball. And I think Darko Rajakovic, now that he's finally got some pieces around, is showcased to us that he can be a really good coach. My number 2 guy is going to be JB Bickerstaff. He's probably the favorite to win it right now. If I was going to, I didn't look at the betting spots or anything, but with the team being on a 11, 12 game win streak after just a few years before he got here, or 1 year before he got here, the same exact team started 2-25. That's a testament to building a culture, a great team, and getting everybody bought in. But my number 1 spot is going to go to Erik Spoelstra. Yes, I understand that the Miami Heat do not have the best record in all of basketball. They don't have the best offense. They don't have the best defense. But right now, they're sitting at 11-6. And I do find a lot of value in teams or coaches that can come in and change the identity of the team, especially on a team that we've seen this Miami Heat team be a slow-paced, methodical team for like 20 seasons, or however long Erik Spoelstra's really been there. For them to get out of that comfort zone, have this free-flowing offense with no ball screens, still having elite level defenses right now sitting at number 3, and that's without Bam playing some games, without Norman Powell playing some games, with Tyler Hero not being there at all this season. I think that if there's any time to get Spo that award, it has to be now. He's like, people will say, who was the best coach of this era? Erik Spoelstra's name comes up very often, and the brother don't even have an award to prove it. Now, I don't think he's ever going to have the same amount of wins as a Mark Daigneault or even, Adelman over there in Denver. They won't have that level of wins. But again, I value changing so much about your team in one singular offseason. This is basically what you imagine new coaches do with the same roster. Oh, yeah, JB came in, and then now Monty Williams is out, and he just changed the culture. Erik Spoelstra had the culture that he built, and he still has that, but also changed the system, the identity of the entire team. I can't explain to you how hard that is. Usually a coach has to get fired for the identity of a team to shift. It didn't happen for Erik Spoelstra. So he's my guy. I do want to give my flowers to Jordan Ott, a new coach here in the NBA. The Phoenix Suns just have a different feel to them this season versus last season. Ime also deserves some votes for them to have one of the best offenses in basketball without being able to shoot or isolate or do whatever, and still have one of the best out there. And I'm trying to think of some other candidates. I mean, JJ Redick, he missed LeBron for the majority of the season. Luka missed some time. And there they are. They're still a pretty solid team right now.